All of the great superstar comedians of the golden age of network radio had one thing in common. They paid their dues in another medium. The roots of radio go back to the old-time tent shows, chautauquas, burlesque houses, vaudeville theaters, band shows, and revues.
Hi-ho, everybody. This is Rudy Valley and Company. We earnestly crave your attention as we strive, earnestly, to please.
Superstar Rudy Valley was a major singing star even before radio. Valley billed himself in the 20s as the vagabond lover. Women adored him. The Fleischman Hour, his pioneer network show, began in 1929 and became a showcase for entertainers and an entree to the networks.
This is Al Jolson. We're back in South Dakota and the show is going on.
Al Jolson was a vaudeville superstar even before the First World War. Of course, radio beckoned, although it never gave him a long-running show in his own name. But Jolie appeared for years on the Kraft Music Hall, the Shell Chateau, other shows, then back to Kraft. And thanks to the movie, The Jolson Story, in 1946, his career spanned half a century till his death in 1950.
The Amos and Andy Show, written by Joe Connolly, Bob Mosier, and Bob Ross.
It's a true story that back in the 30s, movie marquees advertised that the screen would go dark at 7 o'clock so that patrons could hear their favorite radio show, Amos and Andy. Amos, played by Freeman Gosden, was the reliable, hard-working married man, while Andy, played by Charles Correll, was gullible, lazy, skirt-chasing, and a natural-born sucker for George, the kingfish of the Mystic Knights of the Sea Lodge, played by Gosden. In those somewhat simpler days, both black and white Americans came to love the two naive Southern fellows who came to live in Harlem.
One afternoon, Andy joined a crowd on the sidewalk watching a new skyscraper going up in downtown New York.
Boy, they sure puts these buildings up high. Yes, sir, they really up. Hey, excuse me for protruding, mister, but ain't you got a hold of my watch chain?
Oh, your watch chain? So I does. Yeah, well, how you like that? Yeah, one of these solid gold cufflinks of mine must have hooked on your watch chain there.
Well, it's lucky I done remembered what my grandmother told me before I left home. I got my watch chain attached to my underwear. As soon as I felt my BVDs creeping up on me, I knowed something was wrong.
Allow me to introduce myself, stranger. The name is Stevens, George Kingfish Stevens.
Kingfish?
Yeah, they call me that because I is the head of that great fraternity, the Mystic Knights of the Sea.
How you do? I is Andrew Hogg Brown from Marietta, Georgia. You see, me and my friend Amos Jones just got to New York, and we think about buying a taxi. I got $340 right here in my wallet.
Got $340, huh? Thinking about buying a taxi cab, yeah. Now, lucky you run into me, son. It just so happens that I got just the right car for you. Oh, I got
Yes, sir, Amos. There she is, parked at the curb, our new taxi cab.
Yeah, well, I know this fella you called the Kingfish that you met give you a bargain, Andy, but the top of this thing is all sheared right off. Look at there. While you're driving, the breeze is going to come right in there and hit the passengers right in the face.
Well, now, that's all right, Amos. And you know what we can call it? The Fresh Air Taxi Cab Company of America, Incorporated.
Yeah, well, that's good, Andy. Let's start up the thing here and take a little ride. I want to hear that Stutz Bearcat engine, boy.
Yeah, let me open the door here.
Yeah, go ahead. Up to the daisy. Pick up the door there, Andy.
Throw it in the back seat. Now, let me get the thing started.
Yeah, start up. Holy mackerel, Andy. Listen to that Bearcat motor.
Yeah, it sounds like the bear is chasing that cat all around the place.
Andy, she's boiling over.
Uh-oh, there go the radiator cap.
There goes the radiator, too, Andy.
Yeah.
Look at that, Andy, the flames.
Yeah, let me...
After 2 decades, the world changed, and the blackface routines of Amos and Andy lost their appeal. But in various formats, the two superstar performers continued to broadcast as late as 1960, a third of a century after their debut.
An hour of smiles in Town Hall tonight, folks. 60 minutes of fun and music brought to you by Ipana Toothpaste and Sal Hepatica. Ipana for the smile of beauty, Sal Hepatica for the smile of health. Fun with our star comedian Fred Allen. Music with Peter Van Steeden. New features, new laughs. It's Town Hall tonight.
Fred Allen came to be the humorist's humorist. His radio career began in 1932 and spanned nearly 20 years, giving him time to comment acidly on the topics of the day and develop a great many wonderful routines with supremely talented actors. But superstar status came with his witty dialogue and sharp comments. For example, here's a scene with a much younger performer, Sinatra.
Come in. Well, who are you, son?
I'm Frank Sinatra.
Well, I'm sorry I haven't time to talk now, son. I'm expecting John Charles Muckinfuss, the singing street cleaner.
Well, Mr. Muckinfuss sent me over. See, he can't make it. He got an emergency call.
A street cleaner getting an emergency call?
On 10th Avenue. It was a rush job.
Dad, here we are on the air, and our guest star is over on 10th Avenue performing a broomectomy.
Well, Mr. Allen, Mr. Muckinfuss said maybe I could take his place.
Well, I'm sorry, son. You know, this isn't one of those quiz programs where any schnook can come in off the street and take over the microphone. We only use stars.
Yes, sir.
It's nothing personal, you understand?
Oh, I understand, sir.
We can only use people with talent.
I have talent.
Really? Who said so?
My mother.
Oh. Well, tell me, would you step just a little closer to the microphone, son, if you will?
I'm sorry. Is this all right?
Just a little farther back, if you will, please.
See, I don't seem to get the hang of it.
No, it's a little difficult. Have you been on the radio before, son?
Well, yes, I've been on once or twice.
Oh, really? What did you say your name was again?
Sinatra.
Sinatra. You're not related to Sam Sinatra.
No.
I used to know a Sam Sinatra up in New Rochelle. He was a glass blower in an optician's up there. If people came in with dirty glasses and couldn't see to get out of the store, Sam would blow on the glasses and
No, I don't know Sam. No, I don't know him. I'm Frank Sinatra.
You're Frank Sinatra. And you say you're in radio?
Yes, I'm on for Old Gold Cigarettes.
Oh, are you the guy who squeezes the honey out of the apple on that program?
No, you see, I do the singing.
Frank Sinatra. Say, you weren't formerly with the Yacht Club, boy. I see a little brine on your lapel there.
No, I had sour pickle for lunch.
Oh, did you? You shouldn't eat pickles with those short arms, son. The dill drips on you.
See, I have the same trouble with sodas, you know. I have a short neck, and I can't reach the straws.
Oh, really? Well, how do you drink a soda?
I pour the soda out on the counter and lap it up.
Oh, split that.
I lost that up.
I have short teeth. Every time I bite a hot dog, all I get is a mouthful of mustard.
You know, once I knew a guy with a short nose. He couldn't smell anything unless he put his face in it.
Oh, really? Well, this is all mighty, mighty interesting, Mr.
Sinatra.
Oh, Sinatra. Gosh, it's going to disappoint millions of music lovers. John Charles Muckinfuss, the singing street cleaner, not here. I wonder how long he'll be over there on 10th Avenue.
He said it looked like a long session.
Long session, eh?
The cowboys from Rodeo are parading.
Yeah.
In the late 40s, the tiny screen was on its way, and all the radio folk were nervous. Fred made numerous TV appearances after 1950, but his own show, with its topical jokes and dramatic sketches, didn't adapt. So the droll voice of superstar Fred Allen was hardly heard after the 50s began. Like Jolson, Cantor, Benny and Allen, Charlie McCarthy began in vaudeville. He played with Bergen on small-time circuits and traveled to 3 continents, Europe and the 2 Americas. Sometime in 1936, Charlie's act was seen by Rudy Vallee, who invited the duo onto his show. where Charlie was an instant hit. In the spring of 1937, Chase and Sanborn hired Charlie and Edgar for the network. Charlie's feud with W.C. Fields was a natural. The impish adolescent and the sarcastic curmudgeon. Two superstars equally matched.
Hello, Edgar.
If it isn't up to see, the original half-man, half-nose way.
Well, Charlie McCarthy, the woodpecker's pin-up boy. You know, Edgar, it's touching to see your affection for the little nipper. It strikes a tender chord in my heart.
Oh, thank you, Bill. You know, I thought you didn't like children.
Oh, not at all, Edgar. I love children. I can remember when, with my own little unsteady legs, I toddled from room to room.
When was that? Last night?
Quiet, Wormwood, or I'll whittle you down to a coat hanger. Tell me, Charles, is it true your father was a gate-legged table?
If it is, your father was under it, all right.
Why, you stunted spruce. I'll throw a Japanese beetle on you.
Why, you barfly, you... I'll stick a wick in your mouth and use you for an alcohol lamp.
Charlie McCarthy never aged. He was always the pushy, scheming, girl-crazy adolescent, short of cash and long on alibis.
Your name, please, sir. My name, well, it always has been. What was the query?
Edgar Bergen had expected to become a doctor, but somehow ventriloquism was a lot more fun. Even before his teens, he played practical jokes on his parents by throwing his voice. He created the Charlie Dummy while still in high school. In 1939, Bergen created another character, the dim-witted Mortimer Snerd. The boss often tried to groom Mortimer for the starring role, always without success. On one occasion, Bergen tried to explain government financing to Farmer Mortimer and another hayseed, superstar Jimmy Stewart.
And now for our other expert on this farm panel. Your name, please.
Well, my name is, I know as well as I know my own name. What was the query?
Yes, your name, sir.
Oh, yeah, Zeke Stewart.
Gentlemen, greetings and salutations. Well, thank you. I don't mind if I do.
I'll go along with that.
Mind if I go with you?
No.
Gentlemen, please. This is a forum. Now, what is your opinion on agriculture?
Well, it's my opinion that no farm should be without it.
I'll go along with that.
You get there first, wait for me, huh?
No. We must have some helpful information. Now, Mr. Snerd, what is your ideas on increasing milk production?
I'm glad you asked me, Well, first, increasing milk production. First, you got to get a cow. You got to do that. You'll go along with me on that, won't you, Zeke?
Yeah. Should be a female cow.
Perhaps I'll do better if I explain parity. Parity is equality in purchasing power between different kinds of money at a given ratio.
I'll go along with Zeke's opinion,
Look, gentlemen, in other words, if a bushel of corn costs $2 under present conditions, do you think...
Well, I'll tell you, it's like this.
I haven't asked the question yet.
Well, I ain't a fellow that waits until the last minute, all right?
situation, that's for dang sure. I like you, Mort. You're nobody's fool.
Well, nobody's in particular, anyway. Well, that's for dang sure.
Yeah, we ought to get along fine. We understand each other.
Who do?
You and me.
Oh, them, yeah.
That's who I was talking about all the time.
Gentlemen, if
You
a
and me.
bushel of corn, I get this.
I like you, Mort. Let's get together sometime, Mort.
Okay, where?
Well, we can decide that when we get there.
One bushel of
Anyway, I hope to see you sometime, Mort.
Yeah, then some other time I can see you. Yeah. If we change off like that, we won't get so sick of seeing each other. Now, this bushel of corn, well, how about coming over to my farm, Zeus?
Okay, where is it?
Well, I'll tell you how to get there if you don't mind getting lost.
Oh, how far is it as the crow flies?
Oh, it's about... Well, you ain't coming by crow, are you? Sorry, gentlemen, but our time is up.
In the Great Raid of 1949, Edgar Bergen left NBC for CBS, and in later years hosted a TV comedy show, sometimes with 3 dummies at once. His final radio shows around 1956 introduced his pretty daughter, Candace, a superstar of the future. Bob Hope started out as a hoofer who danced around the Midwest with a male partner during the 20s until one day he tried out a stand-up monologue. The audience ate it up. There weren't many bookings in those Depression years, but Hope eventually told enough jokes to get himself on a national vaudeville circuit. After a few radio appearances and a featured part in the movie Big Broadcast of 1938, Hope opened the NBC 1938 fall season in The Pepsodent Show. Hope's wartime shows gave the GIs and civilians as well a great gift of laughter. He knew what the servicemen wanted to hear. And when the war was over, Bob had the same problems as any other red-blooded American guy who wanted to go home.
Yeah, it's been a long, long time, but tomorrow I'll be out of this separation center. And I just found out my girl Francie is waiting for me at the front gate. Boy, it sure is foggy out here. Oh, there she is. I'll sneak up behind her and give her a big kiss.
Margie, is that you?
Whoops, I thought she needed a shave.
Here I am, Robert.
Oh, hello, baby. Have you been sitting under the apple tree with anyone else but me?
Of course not, Robert, but we had to move. The apples kept falling on our heads.
Oh, we? Oh, yes, of course, you and your sister, yeah. But just think, Francie, I'll walk out of these gates tomorrow a free man.
That's wonderful, Robert. Will your mother be here to meet you?
No, she doesn't get out till next week. I told her not to go to OCS.
Gee, let me look at you, Robert. You put on weight.
No, I haven't. I just haven't turned in my parachute yet. Say, Francie, close your eyes and stick your hand out. I want to put something on your finger.
Okay. Oh, Robert, this is wonderful. Mm-hmm. My dreams finally came true. Gee, I thought you'd never return my high school ring.
Oh, I just won it back this morning. Gee, Francis, I can hardly wait till I leave this separation center and we're married.
Yes, Robert, and in 2 or 3 years from now, we'll stick our heads through the bedroom door and hear soft cooing.
Yeah.
Then more cooing. Won't that make you happy, Robert?
Yeah, I always said there's good money in pigeon raising.
Kiss me once, kiss me twice, then kiss me once again. It's been a long, long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time. Hello, Francie.
Gee, Robert, you sure been at this separation base a long time.
Yeah, if I'm here much longer, I won't have to be separated.
You won't?
No, pretty soon it'll just fall apart.
Gee, Robert, I've been waiting for you a long time.
Well, how do you think I feel? I've been in the Army so long, my dice are round. How about a kiss, Francie?
Okay, Robert. Gee, Robert, you are getting old, aren't you?
What makes you think I'm getting old, Francie?
Well, when you kissed me 30 years ago, you didn't have to use that drift meter.
Yeah, but now I gotta find out which way the wind is blowing. This last breeze pulled my pucker inside out.
Guys, Robert, I don't see why you just don't walk out of this here separation base.
Oh, can't do that. You know I'm essential.
You're essential?
Yep, the commanding general likes to boil his eggs in my hot water bottle. Besides, I can't walk out. This front gate is locked.
Well, why don't you just go through that fence?
Doggone, that's a good idea. There's a board out of that fence over there. I'll go through that.
Robert, I thought you said there was a board out of that fence. What happened?
Doggone, it turned out to be a crack in my glasses.
Well, the guys went home, and eventually Bob Hope's audience seemed to melt away, and he left radio. Or perhaps radio left him. But in one way or another, like the superstar that he is, he's been entertaining us ever since. The violin player, vaudeville headliner, and comedian from Waukegan was 38 when he cracked the NBC network in 1932. And like most of the big-time shows, the Jack Benny Show got better and funnier season after season. Benny's timing was wonderful. A routine with Bing Crosby illustrates.
Just a minute. It appears the forces of live radio have dropped a viper into the fiddle section.
Let me alone. I'll get it.
Just a minute. Hey, say, you. Have you ever played this number before, Bub?
Played it? I made it.
Well, I should have known. Jack Benny. Well, I certainly expected you tonight, Jack. I expected you over, but I didn't expect to find you in the orchestra.
I can't understand it. I've never played so poorly.
Oh, cheer up, Jack. Sure you have.
Thanks, kid. But I practiced all morning to limber up. I even washed my fingers in Does. Does doesn't do it. I'm dead.
Better switch to Wheaties, kid. But, Jack, I thought Mary was going to come with you. Where is she?
Oh, she stopped by the Musicians' Union to pay my dues.
You belong to the Musicians' Union?
Don't act so shocked.
Well, then, never heard anything like this.
Of course I belong to the Musicians' Union. I'm one of the charter members. You see, years ago I had a little band. We all joined together.
Oh, I know the group well. A fife, a drum, and a guy with a bandage around his head.
So far, I've had nothing. Look, I don't mean the spirit of 76. My band was called Jack Benny and his Sizzling Gobblers.
Sizzling Gobblers?
That's the line they gave me.
Yeah.
We specialized in turkey trot.
That's the line. And I bet your drummer had drumsticks that were really drumsticks.
Yeah, he used to drive me crazy with that munching during my solo. Can't understand it. Bill Morrow used to write for me. Anyway, Bing, what I wanted to see you about is a business proposition. What are you going to do this summer?
I'm going to take a vacation.
Well, I've got an idea where you and I could combine business with pleasure.
I'm afraid not, Jack.
But Bing, I mean, this is a chance to pick up some extra money. And that never hurts, you know.
Oh, no, it's spending that hurts, isn't it?
That's ridiculous. It doesn't bother me.
Don't knock it till you've tried it.
Well, Mary Livingston.
Get a load of her all decked out like Mrs. Astor's horse. Listen, Mary, you never get all dressed up like that on my program.
Well, how often do I sit on Bing Crosby's lap?
Well, you're not on Crosby's lap.
Wait till I get rolling.
Mary, just kidding, Bing. Nothing will happen.
You keep out of this.
Fine. Listen, I've been thinking of this for years, and I might as well come right out and say it. What do all the women see in Bing Crosby? Look at him. He's got blue eyes like mine, though. Blue eyes like mine.
You can stop there, brother.
Mary, all I want to know is, did you go to the Musicians' Union and pay my dues?
Yes, and I was never so touched in my life.
What do you mean, touched?
Petrillo wept when I handed him your money. Little chunks of stone were rolling down his cheeks.
I don't know. Jimmy always was a great big softy. All right, Mary, where's my card?
Here.
Just a minute. This isn't a musician's card.
Oh, I forgot to tell you. They transferred you to the Plumbers Union.
The Plumbers Union?
Your plunger arrives tomorrow.
What?
I can't wait to hear your first solo. Going to be asleep on the deep, huh?
I've still had nothing. That's a fine way to treat a charter member. Anyway, I'm going to play the violin because I need it in our act, you know.
What act?
The band act that I planned for you, Mary, and myself, Jack Benny and company. Now, Bing, look, there's no sense in you taking a vacation all summer. And this Macombo offer is sensational.
We're playing the Macombo? Isn't that pretty swank for an act like the one you've got planned?
Oh, I don't mean the Macombo restaurant in Hollywood. I got this offer from a fella named Mo Combo. Certainly you've heard of Mo. He used to be a prize fighter.
Oh, an ex-pug, huh? Has he got an ear for music?
No, as I recall, he doesn't have any ears at all. But he's got a wonderful restaurant right on the ocean at Pismo Beach.
Live fish at high tide and cook fish at low tide.
Live fish at high tide, cook fish at high tide. Get off of Crosby's lap, will you?
You're lucky I'm here. He'd have gone home long ago.
You're so right.
Listen, Bing. Bing, you've got to go up to Pismo Beach with me. Hurry, they're building a terrific show around my band.
Yeah?
Gee, Mo has already signed up a sensational dance team.
Who's he got, the DeSharkos?
No, it's Velas and Barracuda. Oh, Jackson, you ought to have two shows. Okay? Anyway, Bing, listen, I figure you on the cymbals. You know how you used to play the cymbals,
yeah.
See? Mm-hmm. Mary on the vocals.
And you on the plunger.
Just keep it up and I'll replace you with Peggy Lee. Now, I figure for our opening tune, we'll do Margie.
Margie? That's going back a little, isn't it?
What's wrong with Margie? That's a hit parade tune.
Margie was on the hit parade when men who know tobacco best were Indians.
And Effie Boone's name was Daniel.
Yeah.
Well, as long as we've gone this far, LSMFT.
Drop the net. Oh, we're cooked.
Yes, sir. You bet. Oh, boy.
In 1949, the Benny Show left NBC for CBS for more money than Jack's vault could possibly hold, and continued till May of 1955. He had 10 good years on TV and hosted numerous benefits and TV specials during the active years that remained.
Hello, Rexall Drug Program. Gary Moore speaking.
Hello, Gary. This is Jimmy.
Jimmy Durante, where are you?
I'm out here at the Santa Anita racetrack.
But, Jimmy, the last race was over an hour ago.
I know, but the horse I bet on would be hurt if I came home before he did.
While still in his teens, Jimmy Durante was pounding a piano in a Coney Island beer joint. Vaudeville beckoned. So did Hollywood and the Broadway stage. Mangled English was his stock in trade, along with high spirits, lively tunes, and the famous proboscis. But by the war years, Jimmy's career was languishing, until a booking opened up in 1943 on The Camel Comedy Caravan. On the same show was a crew-cut young fellow from Baltimore named Gary Moore, who spoke correct English, didn't sing or play much, and had worked only in radio. Shortly after that, a spot came open on NBC on Thursday nights, and a producer with genuine foresight put together the most unlikely team in the world, Durante and Moore. Many listeners assumed they were father and son, even though they played it as bachelor roommates.
I'll take it, Junior.
Right.
Hello.
Hello, is this Durante, the well-informed man?
Yes, and you called it an opportune moment. I'm in a very informative mood.
Well, tell me, Mr. Durante, is it true what I've been reading in the papers about the marriage of DeRocher and Day?
DeRocher and Day? That's right. They were married last week. And I'm sure Lippy will be very happy with Dennis.
Everybody calls Durante.
Ah, yes, Garrison. Them are the burdens of being a presidential candidate.
Oh, yeah, and say, speaking of that, Jimmy, if you're going to run for president, you're going to have to dress better than you do.
Dress better?
Yeah, why don't you try to emulate George Washington? He was one of our best-dressed presidents.
President or no president. I ain't walking down Vine Street wearing satin snickers and nylon stockings. Although I could use the wig. Why, at that banquet last night in San Bedou, I was the picture of sartorial mediocrity.
Oh.
Yes, everybody remarked how well my tuxedo matched my sneakers. They were open-toed.
Oh, that banquet, that's another thing. Believe me, Schnoz, it's not considered good form for a presidential candidate to drink champagne out of a lady's slipper.
Who was drinking champagne out of her slipper? She said her feet was wet and I was just testing her shoes for a leak.
Never mind that, Schnoz. As president, what are you going to do for the people?
My first official act as president of the United States, the garden spot of America, will be to move all the people from Texas to the state of New Jersey.
You're going to move the people from Texas to New Jersey? What'll that accomplish?
When they all start singing, the stars at night are big and bright. Think how many mosquitoes they'll kill. Junior, I'm well-versed in all phrases of politics.
Yes, you are.
And to prove it, I'll answer any question that any member of this audience would care to ask. Mr. Durante, as a presidential candidate, do you propose to countenance the monopolistic encroachments of bureaucracy to the eventual detriment of individualistic enterprise? He didn't say please. Anyone else care to venture a question?
Well, Jimmy, last night when I was campaigning for you at the Young Men's Republican and Tatting Club of Tehachapi...
The garden spot of America.
The question arose as to what you were going to do about inflation.
What's all this fuss about inflation anyway? What's inflation? Inflation is an enlargement. And what's an enlargement? An enlargement is a protuberance.
Oh, no. And what is a protuberance?
If I knew what that was, we'd have the whole thing lit.
Protuberance. Jimmy, there's only one way to lick inflation. You got to go in and take the bull by the horns.
I know what you mean, Junior. Yesterday I walked into Clayton's butcher shop and bought a pound of salami. $1.80. And as the butcher took my money, I took a bite out of his thumb.
Took a bite out of his thumb? What did you do that for?
I paid for that thumb. He weighed it with the salami. You know, in our neighborhood, he's known as Foot on the Scale Clayton. Mr. Durante, I've made a study of your political ideology, and as far as I'm concerned, you're an incompetent nincompoop and a total non-entity. Sir, I resent that. Do you deny it? No, I just resent it. Ushers, search that man. And if you find anything in his pockets, kill it. So in conclusion, my constituents, I leave you with the words of that great economist who said, prices may rise and prices may fall, but half of Lauren Bacall is better than none at all.
Jimmy, the man you're quoting is John Haywood, only he said half a loaf is better than none at all.
Let John fool around with the sandwiches. I'll take the full-course dinner. Now you know that you can't go wrong. Why, if you start off each day with a song.
In 1947, Durante and Moore parted company, and Jimmy carried on alone till 1950, when he left radio for some very good years in TV. Both Marion and Jim Jordan, when they were married in 1918, thought they might have careers in music. And as newlyweds, they sang in churches and traveling shows around the Midwest, and soon went broke. But radio beckoned, and soon WENR in Chicago put them on 3 times a week as the Air Scouts. Their next show, Smack Out, lasted 4 years, until Johnson's Wax gave them new material and new names, as Fibber, McGee, and Molly. By April of 1941, the superstar McGees beat out both Jack Benny and Bob Hope in the old Hooper ratings. Veteran actor Gale Gordon played McGee's perennial victim, Mayor Latrivia.
To the McGees, there is no indoor sport which compares with getting His Honor Mayor Latrivia into an argument. As Molly says, he turns such pretty colors. Listen to them leading him into one right now.
You say you're on your way to a college reunion, Latriv?
Yes?
Going to see all the boys you used to play seatball with, I presume.
I was not much of an athlete in college. I specialized in lit.
Did they ever catch on?
Catch on to what?
You being lit.
You're deliberately distorting my remarks. I was referring to my literary activities in college. Activities, I might add, which earned me a Phi Beta Kappa key.
Oh, really, Mr. Mayor? May we see it?
Unfortunately, I lost it.
Lose just the one key or the whole key ring?
Just my Phi Beta Kappa key. It was pinned to my vest.
Pinned on your vest? Well, that's an odd place to carry a key. Where do you carry your money? Knotted into your hanky?
Let's be sensible. A Phi Beta key is usually pinned on the vest.
What was it a key to, Latriv?
It wasn't a key to anything. It was a symbol of my membership in the honorary scholastic fraternity Phi Beta Kappa.
Oh, of course, the key to the fraternity house. At first, I didn't realize...
It was not a key to a house. It had no value except a sentimental one. It's a small pin, about a half-inch in length.
A pin? You mean the key was pinned on with a pin?
No, the pin is the key.
The pin?
I mean, the key is a pin. It is a pin in the shape of a key. It's really a pin.
Maybe I better make the mayor a cup of tea, McGee. He seems a little upset.
No, I don't want a cup of tea.
Huh?
A cup of tea. I just want to find my key pin. The pin key. I mean that I've got to...
No. Now, take it easy, Latriv. Relax. My gosh, if you got to unpin the thing every time you want to unlock the clubhouse door...
The clubhouse has no door. There is no clubhouse. The key doesn't unlock anything because it isn't a key. It's a pin. I just wear it.
Why?
Because I belong to Phi Beta Kappa.
Then why don't they give you a little button that says so?
Because I want the Phi Beta Mover. The Beta Keeper Bugger. I'm stuck with it. You didn't.
McGee?
Yes?
How would you like a big job on the city payroll?
Oh, he'd love it, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Good. Report to the zoo tomorrow morning. You can wash the elephant.
Good day.
During the war, Fibber and Molly urged their listeners to save gas and rubber and buy bonds, as any middle-aged patriotic American family would do. We loved them for that, and for many great routines way into the 50s. Like most radio superstars, the team of Burns and Allen served a long apprenticeship in vaudeville. It's a show business legend that when they first teamed up, George was the funny man and Gracie the straight man. Role reversal came quickly, and by 1930, the pair was touring Europe and headlining at the Palace on a bill with Eddie Cantor. Eddie invited Gracie, alone, to appear on his radio show, where she was a sensation. Rudy Valley invited her and George on his show, and soon they were a regular feature on the Guy Lombardo Show on CBS. Their own show began in 1933 and continued with various sponsors for 17 years. Ever the little schemer, Gracie wanted a designer evening gown. Paying for it was another matter.
George has given Gracie $25 and told her to buy him some long underwear. But on the way, she passed the shop of Pierre, the famous dress designer. Naturally, we now find her talking to Pierre.
I want a new evening gown, Pierre. The most gorgeous thing you've ever made.
How much is Madame prepared to spend?
Well, all I have with me is $25.
$25?
Well, yes, my husband gave it to me to buy him some long underwear, but my gown is more important. I want to be glamorous. I want to attract more attention than Lana Turner.
Madame, for $25, all the clothes I could give you would be a bow around your waist.
Oh, I don't want to attract that much attention.
The cheapest gown I make is $100.
Well, here, take the $25 as a down payment. You'll get the rest when the gown is finished.
Well...
Oh, please, I've just got to have the gown, and my credit is the best in town.
Madame wouldn't pull my leg, would she?
Well, anything to get the gown. Stick it up here.
Never mind, I'll take a chance.
Oh, wonderful. Now, remember, create something really divine.
Oh, have no fear, Madame. I'll put everything I've got into this gown.
Oh, good. With what you put into it and what I put into it, it ought to be sensational.
Well, back so soon, Gracie? Did you get my long underwear?
No, I couldn't find any.
Oh. Well, give me back the $25.
Oh, I couldn't.
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Well, because it's in my shoe, that's why not.
Well, take your shoe off.
Right in front of you?
I've seen you with your shoes off before, you know.
Why, George Burns, you peeping Tom.
Gracie, I want my $25.
Oh, there's someone at the door. I'll be right back.
Good afternoon, Madame. I've come to take the measurements.
Oh, Pierre, I can't talk to you about the gown now. I'll meet you at your shop in 10 minutes.
Gracie, who is that? What did I hear about measurement?
Oh, well, I guess you've got me. It was going to be a surprise, but I'll tell you. I couldn't find any long underwear in the stores, so I hired this man to make you some. His name is Pierre.
Pierre?
The famous French long underwear maker.
A French long underwear maker?
Oh, yes. He makes underwear for General de Gaulle, and you know how long they'd have to be.
Oh, so you gave him the $25?
Yes. I didn't want to tell you, but now you know. Well, if you'll excuse me, I have to run in and change.
Gee, you'll be wearing genuine handmade French long underwear. That's real class. I'll have to shorten my trousers.
Pardon, monsieur.
Yes?
Madame said she would meet me at the shop to give me the measurements, but I'll be at the studio for the rest of the day.
Oh, you're Pierre. My wife told me what you were going to make. I'd like to hear just what you've got in mind.
But of course, monsieur. I plan a gorgeous creation of pale peach satin.
Pale peach satin? That's good.
You can trust Pierre. Now, around the neck will be a delicate frou-frou of lace.
A frou-frou?
Yes. The neckline will be cut low to reveal a tantalizing glimpse of bare white shoulders.
And the neck will have a frou-frou?
Yes.
You're sure you've made these things before?
Oh, it's my life work.
Well, you ought to know what's best. I suppose it's buttons down the front, huh?
Oh, no.
Down the back?
No. There'll be no buttons, just one zipper.
Where?
on the side.
But the frou-frou is around the neck.
In the front, nothing should break the simplicity of the drape unless one chooses to wear a rhinestone clip.
I don't think one will.
Well, anyway, monsieur, my creation will be the gayest thing at any party.
Who sees underwear at a sociable?
Underwear? I'm describing a gown.
Don't need a gown. I'll just sleep in the underwear.
I was speaking of the gown I'm making for your wife.
My wife?
Yes, she gave me $25 down on a $100 evening dress.
I see. Gracie, come in here.
Yes, dear?
Gracie, you're not going to buy any $100 gown from Pierre.
Oh, but George, I only wanted it so I'd look my best when I went out with the handsomest man in Hollywood.
That's me?
Oh, sure.
Well, I don't mind if you spend, say, $30. So I'm the handsomest man in Hollywood, huh?
You're the handsomest man in the state of California.
Well, spend $60.
You're the handsomest man in the whole country.
Okay, spend $100.
In fact, you're the handsomest man in the world.
What's that for? You got the dress.
I'm working on a mink coat.
I see what you mean.
After 1950, George and Gracie enjoyed 8 successful years on television.
I love to spend each Sunday with you.
Little Eddie Ishkowitz was singing on street corners on the Lower East Side while just a kid, and later became a teenaged singing waiter in Coney Island in the same beer garden where Jimmy Durante played piano. As Eddie Cantor, his big break on radio was with Rudy Valley, and in the fall of 1931, his own show took off. Eddie always played himself, a little entertainer from humble beginnings, married to his childhood sweetheart, father of 5 daughters, trying to make a living and stay out of trouble. His straight men and buddies on the show were his announcers. First, Jimmy Wallington, and then Harry Von Zell.
Hello, Eddie. Gosh, I rushed over as soon as you phoned me. What's all the excitement?
Harry, I'm thrilled.
What?
Life magazine is sending over a photographer to take pictures of me.
Oh.
They're going to give me a 2-page spread. Isn't that fine, Harry? Think of it. Little Eddie Cantor in Life.
It would be better if there was a little life in Eddie Cantor. But, Eddie, listen. Now, come here. Why did Life magazine decide to take pictures of you at this time?
Well, they heard that one of the studios is after me to do my life story.
You?
What's the matter, Harry? Why are you so surprised? Look at them. He can go, oh, you, yes, me. After all, they took the life of Cole Porter and put it on a screen. They took the life of Al Jolson and put it on a screen. Don't you think they should take my life?
Yeah, I'm in favor of it.
I'm not finished yet.
That's what you think.
Yep. Oh, Harry. Don't be so smart.
I'm sorry.
Already I'm working on the script of my life. The early days, my meeting with Ida.
Yeah, might be interesting at that. Have you got a scene showing how you proposed to Ida?
Who proposed, Harry?
You didn't propose?
At her house one night, I kneeled down to tie my shoelace, and before I could straighten up, she said, I do. Her father borrowed $10, and her mother moved into my apartment.
Well, how long ago was that?
35 years ago, and the minute he pays back that 10, out they go.
35 years. Listen, wasn't that about the time Al Jolson became a star?
Yes, Harry. And you know something?
What?
He had a great influence on my career. I idolized Jolson. When he sang In My Merry Oldsmobile, I got myself a car. And when he sang April Showers, I went out and got rubbers and a raincoat. And when he sang California, Here I Come, I got a home in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Didn't he used to sing Sonny Boy?
Yeah, but Ida wasn't listening.
Well, listen, Eddie, if Jolson had such an influence on you, how is it you never use him on your radio program?
Oh, well, what's the sense of getting Jolson? We both do the same thing, sing, tell jokes.
I know, but Jolson has a style of his own. For instance, when he sings, he gets down on his knees.
I can get down on my knees.
Jolson can get up. Look, if that studio is going to make the story of your life, they better hurry. You're not getting any younger, Eddie.
Well, look, Harry, always remember a man's age is determined by the condition he's in. The years have nothing to do with it. A man is as young as he feels.
Mm-hmm. Eddie, how do you feel?
I want to lie down a while.
Listen, Eddie, I don't want to argue with you about it, but I happen to know that you've already celebrated your 35th anniversary in show business.
All right. So I'm a little over 35. You know, when I started in the Ziegfeld Follies, I was only 3 months old, Harry. 3 months old I was when I was...
How could you be on the stage at that age? You were still in diapers.
No, for the Ziegfeld Follies, do you need more?
Little Banjo Eyes left radio at the end of the 48-49 season, then sang and danced his way through several good years on television. A lifetime in show business for superstar Eddie Cantor came to an end in 1964. Back in the 1930s and 40s, anybody who was anybody had a radio show of their own or did high-profile guest spots. Superstars were numerous, but perhaps the brightest of them all were the two former vaudevillians whose famous feud spanned the golden years of radio.
And now, fellas, I'd like to present a couple of men you all know, and it took a lot of us to bring these two men together tonight, and it'll probably take a lot more to pull them apart. Jack Benny and Fred Allen.
Stop bowing, Benny. Every time that gray head goes by, it reminds me of Barbara Frietchie.
You're jealous, Fred, because I can bend without creaking.
Well, Jack and Fred, it's good to see you back together for Christmas and not fighting. After all, two middle-aged men should watch their blood pressure.
Look who's talking, middle-aged men. Listen, Hope, your middle is aged more than ours. You know?
That's just a figure of speech, really.
Well, with a figure like yours, I wouldn't go around making speeches, Besides, Bob, you've got us all wrong. There was never any ill feeling between Jack and me.
What are you talking about, Fred? I heard you say on the air one night that Benny squeezed the dollar bill so hard that Washington got buck teeth.
He did not, Bob. All he said was, I wouldn't pay a nickel to applaud a bubble dance with a hat pin.
Sounds as though Hope's right. I wrote that for you.
Yeah.
No, I can't. No, you fellas have got the whole thing wrong. I merely said that Jack took the first buck he ever made, slapped it on his head, and had skin grafted over it. Every time he walks down Hollywood Boulevard on Dollar Day, his scalp twitches. Bob, that was just a casual remark made in passing. There was no malice intended.
Of course not. Hey, that's a straight line. What am I doing with that?
I'd settle for a line, but just a second, Jack. How about the time you said Fred's eyes looked like fly specks peeking over two ping pong balls?
Now, wait a minute. Bob, now wait. I've got the face, and you guys are doing all the mugging. I mean, Jack never said that at all. All Jack said was that I looked as though Santa Claus had come down my nose and left a bag under each eye.
I did not, Fred. Remember, I said you were the only civilian I know with a sad sack under each eye.
That's right, Jack, and I think that's one of the biggest laughs you have ever gotten on the air.
Well, thank you, Freddie.
That's the spirit. That's more like it, boys.
What's more like it, son?
Yes, we can straighten this out ourselves, Mr. Skelton.
Oh. Please, that's the Sinatra of my life. Please.
You have a line coming up, Mr. Hope.
That's you, though.
All right, I'll give you the other line. Who asked you to squeeze toothpaste on these troubled waters?
Well, I was only trying to be nice, but that's out of character for me. I'm going to get out of here. You two guys lean on each other. So long. Nice exit.
Gee, he got a big hand there, didn't he?
Yes, Jack. People were sure glad to see him go. You know, Jack, is this the same program that Jimmy Durante was on? Is this the same program
I think
still?
so. I think so. It's supposed to be a Christmas program. I didn't think we'd get on till New Year's. You know? Well, Fred, here we are, though, and am I happy to see you?
Yes, Jack, here we are, and am I happy to see you?
Gee, Fred, you're looking fine.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. You're looking fine, too.
Well, this can't last long, fella. Anyhow, Fred, welcome to California. What are you out here for? The orange picking season?
Well, I have been doing a little picking while I'm waiting to hear from Monogram. But I really came out here to make a picture, Jack.
A picture? Good. You know, things have changed since you made your last picture, Fred. They talk now.
Well, I talk a blue streak. I'm ready for Technicolor, if they talk.
Well, I see you brought your...
Now, wait a minute. That's my laugh.
I know. I see you brought your famous wit over the Rockies with you. By the way, where are you living, Fred?
Well, I've only been here 6 weeks, Jack. I haven't gotten the room yet.
Yeah. Well, it gets pretty chilly here at night, Fred. Doesn't the cold bother you?
No, I picked up an old Indian blanket at Albuquerque. It's a little crowded in there with the old Indian, but that's housing in California today, Jack.
You know, when you're away from home nowadays, Fred, things are pretty tough. Travel is difficult, too. Now, take my case. I've just returned from a 32,000-mile trip overseas where I entertained thousands of men.
I was waiting for that. I was wondering how you were going to work that in.
It was a thrilling trip, Fred. South America, Africa, Sicily, the boot of Italy.
The heel finally reached the boot.
Fred, you're jealous, that's all. When I was in Egypt, I did a special show for King Tut.
Now, wait a minute. King Tut has been dead for 3,000 years.
I know, he was a very tough audience there. And he still looks better than you do.
Well, I wouldn't talk. Every time I look at your scalp, I think of that song, The Surrey with the Fringe on Top.
Well, I don't get the connection, Fred. I drive an automobile.
Well, all right. Surrey with the fringe on top, Maxwell with the jerk inside. What's the difference?
Lucky for you, Alan, that I don't understand that type of humor.
You don't understand my humor? Why, I remember you in vaudeville, Benny. The only reason you carried a fiddle was to beat off the audience.
Well, Fred, you never had to beat off an audience. For your first 10 years in the theater, you did your act in the men's powder room.
And that reminds me, Benny, you still owe me 40 cents for towels, by the way.